this is Alias with Alias DJA. Welcome to our video on current ways to boost XP on Forza Horizon 3. All correct as of June 2017 and has been made using various sources of my own and others. There are 4 ways to currently to boost, but first we must go to the skill shop.
Welcome to our video. This is Alias DJA supported by Alias Bug. As you can see, this is my Nissan GTR Black Edition Horizon Edition that I customed for Platinum players, the current team that I'm with. If any of you are interested in joining up, send me a personal message via Xbox Live to Alias DJA. Like my number right hand man here, Alias Bug, said, we're going to be going through a few different ways of boosting. Just for you know, in the background I put a couple of my classic Daft Punk tracks to go on because the radio of the game kind of gets a little bit tedious after a while. So look, we're going to kind of run this down on what you're going to need to do to prepare beforehand. Then we're going to be really working on kind of the best ways to boost and the methods that I've set up as mentioned by Alias Bug. So first things first, I really need to talk to you about the skill shop. For those of you that don't really know about the skill shop, it's basically the way to increase boost and maintain kind of a much higher kind of total from your events that you do in terms of money, perks and boosting. So hit your start button, go over to your progress here, down to your skill shop, over one tab to skills, and this is the one you want to look at here. It's top left, the XP bump. This is basically what's going to allow you to maintain a ×3 XP for whatever race you do while boosting. Now there are certain elements you have to factor into this at all times, the main ones being that you are going to need a skills boost car in order to maximize everything out of these methods. Now, like I mentioned, the Skyline here that I use is a fantastic car to learn and kind of get your head around. Like I said, this paint job I did a little while back for my Team Platinum players, but you're going to have to really familiarize yourself with either this one or the Lamborghini Huracan Horizon Edition, as these are really the only two that can give you the skills boost and the straight line speed and kind of the overall effectiveness of the actual game itself. So that all said, going over to the first one. So Bug, what's the first boosting we can get to do?
Goliath boosting.
Okay, so for those of you that know obviously of the Goliath race, it's unlocked at a certain point in the game. It's basically just above the little Hot Wheels track here. Go down a little bit more, down a little bit more, and there she is, the Goliath circuit. I'll zoom in so you can all see. So as you can see, it's a complete race of the whole map. It goes basically the whole way around the top circuit, does all 4 corners, and this is where we're really going to be looking at it first of all. Okay, so once you're here, you're going to want to load up your Goliath, which is basically just here. And as you can see, you're going to either be able to do a championship or an exhibition. Now, I'll get to a little bit more about championships in a while. However, just for the sake of kind of this, if this is your preferred method of racing, then you're going to want to hit exhibition. You can set up your own blueprint by going here, which is where you can set up your own choice of cars, number of laps, etc., weather conditions. My advice would be to set up something like I've done here, which is basically a 2 times in good clear. So you can kind of get yourself familiar with the surroundings, the corners. And what you really want to be aiming for is clean racing here, people. You don't want to be aiming for every corner being a drift, every bit of wreckage. You want clean racing. This is open circuits, wide roads, and kind of familiarise yourself with not only the track, but the car itself. Okay, so we'll load it up just for the sake of argument. Again, you're going to want a skills boost car. And for those of you that don't, this is one here. You can see in the bottom right hand corner of the description, it's got Horizon Edition Skills Boost. This is what you need. Like I mentioned, the only other alternative that I would really recommend would be the Lamborghini LP, which is obviously this one here, the LP610-4 Horizon Edition, again with similar skills boost perk. So that being said, I mean, I'm not going to drive Goliath just for you to watch me do, but the idea here is to race clean, get ahead, keep the skill chains alive, and just kind of, you want to be really looking at around about, you know, 30,000, 40,000 every couple of minutes, and then bearing in mind that you're only going to really want to bank, you know, 100,000, because that gives you your 10,000 boost, and it was capped at that at the last update. So there's no real point going anywhere further than 100,000 when boosting, because you A, run the risk of losing it, and B, you won't really get anything more than the 10,000 extra anyway, so play it safe. What's the next one, mate?
Redstone gold mine boost.
Okay, so this one obviously came credit kind of within a mix of Don Joe One's song and my clan leader Nazo24. The redstone gold mine is basically within the desert. On the left hand side here there's like a little cluster by the airport, and this is the one you want to aim for here. For those of you that know about this boosting, some actually quite like this method, but I just really want to run through a few different ways to kind of shake it up a little bit, because it is hard, you know, doing this non-stop, and it is going to be annoying at times when, you know, you're on a 50, 60, 70,000 skill chain and you lose it. It is going to take practice. So this is basically where you want to head to. You want to be here. And this should pop up automatically. This is a default blueprint that's on there. Bear in mind that you are going to need, again, much like the Goliath, to make sure in your skill shop that you do have this triple XP bump ready. Okay, you're going to have that to maximise it. Once you're here, if you go to this little slot here, if you add me up as a friend, there's going to be 2 here. This was for Forza-thon that's now finished, but what you're aiming for here is the 2-minute wonder boost. Okay, load that up, and you will automatically be put straight into the Nissan Skyline Horizon Edition with the skills perk, which will allow you to do this blueprint. Now there are various methods, and I'm going to kind of talk people through it as I do it. It's basically dual carriageway that you use and manipulate to keep the skill chain aligned, doing different various methods. So by hooking it and following it down here to the left, what you'll see start to happen is it will start boosting, and it will start racking up the points slowly but surely. You take the first right, and then the left will open up into this. So if you look at basically the map here as it is, you've basically got a start to finish with an end point here. Okay, this is basically the end of where you need to be. And the idea here is to basically go up and down this as fast as you can, avoiding traffic, getting your slipstream, trading paint if you're lucky, overtake, close calls, and there are other little bits along the way. So again, I'm not gonna countlessly spend the next 10 minutes showing you how to do this, but the idea is to kind of try and follow the blue line, stay close, keep fast, keep yourself kind of close to cars so you get the near miss. You get daredevil by going fast and going in between cars. You kind of look ahead in the distance, don't focus too much on what's in front of you immediately. You know, you can get threading the needle by going in between lanes like so. There are a couple of points to remember here. Now, when you get kind of within the last mile, you are going to be seeing kind of a lot of trees to the left and right hand side. As you can see, just within the last kind of 10-15 seconds, we're already at 40,000 now. You're going to get through kind of normal scenery, and then as you see now, it's just starting to turn green. And if you just look to your left here, and that's at 1.2 miles, you've got landscaping you can do by hitting those gates. You've got all kinds of foliage and bushes that you can hit down. You've got trees here that you can knock down for wreckage. You really can mix this up as and when you want. And I mean, I've kind of looked at it in the sense of how much you earn against just doing this for 10 minutes and doing the racing, and there's not much in it. There really isn't, a matter of a couple of hundred points if anything. And then again, likewise, you've got here that you can just kind of run into if you feel that, you know, you're feeling a little bit twitchy and you think, well, hang on, maybe I'll just, you know, do this for 5 minutes, shake it up a little bit. You know, you can do that as well. As you come to kind of the underpass here, this is where you need to kind of make yourself aware of the ending. Now, what I like to do is, just before I start doing this properly, is go really fast and lock up the brakes around about this point here. So you get kind of a number 11, so that you know that's your bingo point. And if you are going a little bit too fast, you can just kind of dive into here, keep the skill chain alive. But as soon as you pass that point behind you here at that destination, it's going to end it. But you've got 30 minutes to really boost as much as you can within that time. But you must remember that you must finish the race within 30 minutes in order for that skill chain to actually bank. So what I'm going to do, just for the sake of argument, so it's banked now, I'm going to do 2 quick laps. I'm going to go down and up and just kind of show you the ways that you can do it. So if you stay to the middle, cars tend not to pull out on you too harshly. I mean, the secret here is to kind of look in the distance and map it accordingly. But all credit to Don Joe on Song. He kind of led me into this one originally, and kind of with a combination of a few other boosting methods and kind of other people's input and preference, you know, it can be done. So look, I mean, we're at 21, 25 already. I mean, bear in mind, you don't have to be going flat out here. I mean, at some of the corners, I just like to just let go and just kind of coast it. Let the car do its own thing. Let the car take it under its own steam. You know, you are going to have a few crashes. I warn you now. You're going to get to, you know, your 80, 90,000, and you're going to hit things, and it's going to wind you up. But perseverance is key with this. And as you can see, you kind of go all the way to the end. To the left here are a load of solar kind of signs. I use that as kind of a marker as where to turn around, kind of where it splits from 1 into 2. So use that as kind of a gauge. And as you can see, look, 75,000 already. Coming back down now for a 4 mile straight. I'll try and keep it as good as I can, but then, you know, you can do some wreckage, you can do some drifting, you can do some kind of drift taps if you've got like the wall man. And that's all you do. You know, practice is key here, people. You know, it's, you've got to put the effort in, you've got to put the work in, you've got to practice this. It's not going to come overnight, and eventually, you know, you'll do 25 minutes worth, you'll think to it, and you should be aiming for around about 500 XP within your first kind of dozen tries. And as you get better and better and better, and you start banking your 100,000 skill chains with the 10,000 XP extra, you should be looking between the 600 and 700 mark comfortably within 25 minutes, half an hour. And that's basically Redstone Goldmine. This is it. You know, some people like the racing approach, some people like the grind approach. Again, you can kind of go up and down missing cars like this, or you can just spend your time in the fields knocking down trees. Irrespective, just remember, once you've done it, that's it. You know, you've got 30 minutes to bank as much as you can. You can do it for 10 and bank it, 20 and bank it. Completely up to you. All right, Buck, so what's the next one?
The 1 million XP boost.
Okay, so the 1 million XP boost is something that I created, which was a basic combination of a few things that have happened and boosts that I've done and been recommended for over the past kind of couple of weeks. It's one that I recommend for my Club Platinum players. It is, in essence, exactly what it says it is. It's a championship I set up that will earn you approximately 1 million XP by completing it. So once it loads, I'll pop it up and show you whereabouts it actually is. Bearing in mind, at any point you can create your own championships and blueprints to kind of tailor how you want to make it fit. But for the sake of argument, this is where it is. I'm gonna drive it in my club themed Skyline, just so I can take a few points along down the road there with me, and so you can kind of see how it does work, you know, in general normally. So the blueprint will start you here, and as you can see, there's plenty of wreckage, plenty of damage you can do. You know, there's bushes you can hit, there's all sorts here. I'm just going to kind of go mic quiet just so I can kind of concentrate and go down on this. Obviously this is really for reference, and so you guys can see how it kind of works out going completely off the bat. Okay, so that was just pretty much flat out again. You know, if you get to the 100,000 mark and you're a little bit sketchy onto kind of what you need to do and where you need to really be, just bank it. You know, don't risk it. I don't really risk it past, you know, 30, 40,000 because it's just pointless. In all my excitement, actually went past the championship, so it's a good reference point. This is where I've set it up. We'll go against the traffic here just because it's a little less hectic this side. God, there's some shockers today, but anyway, here we are. So this is Outback Highway Circuit. This is it. Again, where I created my 1 million XP. Go to Championship, and there it is. So it should take approximately 45 minutes on the first one, and then total for remaining 3 events, you're looking around about an hour and 15 minutes. Very good for your team, very good for yourself in terms of wheel spins, skill points. I'll load it up so you can see the events itself.
We're running another Horizon Championship. You're the star attraction.
So you've got basically a 50, that's 50 lap of highway circuit. And I'll explain a little bit more about that in a second. We've also got 2 sprints that basically are just to kind of shake yourself out of that kind of mind-numbing continual lap circuit. And then finally a double lap of Goliath, which is basically what I like to call a feeler lap, which is basically when you kind of feel your way through, try and focus on your skill points. And then your second lap's kind of your power lap where you look for your clean racing, okay? So when you load it up, again, add me up, Alias Space DJA, if you fancy this blueprint and if you want to give it a go yourself. It has naturally been set up with the GTR Black Edition, Horizon Edition, because I personally feel that this car is the best car to boost with. In terms of obviously the multiplier by 3 for everything. Everything you do within this car is multiplied by 3. And just the all-out greatness of the car, really. It's a big favourite for me and Alias Bug. And I'm just going to do a kind of couple of slow laps first of all to kind of explain to you how to maximize kind of boosting in this method. Now, some of you again might be familiar with this way of boosting, but it is a little bit different to those that kind of just spend time in trees. So I'm just going to bank to the left a little bit, let the track kind of get around me. Okay, so look, I'll wait for them all to take the first corner because I will catch up on them quite quick. This has been set to average, by the way, and I'll tell you the reason for that why in just a second. But basically, the method here is to basically continually have a skill chain going while you go around this track. Now, if you've not raced this track before online or even familiar with it even being here, lots of wide corners, such as this one here. Plenty of open opportunity to do drifting. There's loads of opportunities for drift tap. Now, for those of you that don't know the drift tap, I'd like to think that if you're kind of in a position where you are looking to boost, then you're going to know about the drift tap. But for those of you that don't know what the drift tap is, the drift tap is basically a little hidden gem that you can do to earn 9,000 skill points every single time you do it. So I'm just going to do a lap of this just to kind of show you the different kind of corners and the different kind of layouts that this track brings. And then once we come down this back straight, I'm going to do 2 laps and kind of talk you through the way in which to keep the chain alive. Okay, so we're coming up the back straight now. Obviously that's the checkpoint and we can see the start flag. So I'm going to take it as if it was just starting a brand new race. Okay, so once again I'm going to let them take the first corner just so I get the opportunity to. So, as is, launch control on. This is fully automatic with all the perks on. You know, I'm not trying to be a hero here with manual clutch or, you know, ABS, tyre wear. Put everything on. Make it easy on yourself. This is about, you know, worrying about the XP, not worrying about what your car's going to do. So, you start and launch. What I tend to do is always try and get a drift tap first off of this one. Just like that. That'll get its arse in. Knock this little pillar here. That keeps the chain alive. Follow the blue line, hit that. Come to the left, brake hard, hit the exit, hit that one. Drift around here. You should aim to get quite a nice little drift off the back of it. Trim it with the handbrake just to square it up nicely. Depending on what side, you can go right. Knock all of these down. You'll get an ultimate clean racing immediately. Come over the crest. Handbrake into this. Keep it tight. Come off the gas. Brake. Nose in. Handbrake. Let the back kick out. Full power. Drift tap that there if you didn't do it first time. 3 wreckage boards to hit. Brake hard. Again, nose in. Handbrake. Power in. Counter right. Counter left. Off the power immediately. Handbrake. Drift tap that wall. Knock anything there you can. Back end out. You can also drift tap this here. just like that. If you missed it, square it up, line it up nicely. You got peg there, there, one behind this green flag there, to the right, bush, pillar there. If you fancy another cheeky drift tap, do it again. You got a sign to the right, follow the blue line again. Wreckage, brake, wreckage, 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 handbrake. Back round again, opportunity for drift tap there if you missed it. Come in tight, go left this side, don't hit this fence hard, but just trim it. You'll get landscaping, come back up to the right, wreckage, wreckage, handbrake in, let the back end kick out, keep it tight, keep it tidy. If you come too wide, hit the pickers there, hit the 3 boards here if you come to the left. Again, handbrake. It's going to take some practice, but you'll do it. You do it enough times, you kind of learn by just chuck it in. Again, let go, drift tap off the back, try and get some wreckage here. Side swipe in, drift tap makes it 9, that's 6, 7, clean racing, 8, 9, done. So that's 2 laps at 101, 268 times 6, let it bank, there you go. Rinse and repeat, people. It's simple as that. Drift tap, bear in mind, resets after 30 seconds, so you can't, sadly, keep drift tapping anymore. It's not something that you can keep on doing, but kind of make a mental note, you know, get a drift tap at the top, kind of this kind of area, there you go, you get 10,000 bonus, get the drift tap bonus at the top of the map, and then get a drift tap bonus at the bottom of the map, and then kind of fill in the gaps in between with wreckage, drifting, side swipes, and then obviously what will happen is eventually, because you've set it to average, what you can then do is once you catch up with the kind of traffic that has been kind of continuing on, yeah, a bit too hard, you know, even I make the mistakes, I'm not perfect. What I'm going to do is just kind of show you a little bit about an easy way of just picking up some points. So I should be able to catch him on this back straight. Remember, drafting keeps the skill chain aligned, overtakes keeps the skill chain aligned, but just before I end this part here where you come the back straight and you turn in, now the driver tires on this are horrendous for braking. They will unnecessarily brake at that point I just mentioned and will cause you to get a skill, you know, lose your skill chain. They'll just stop in front of you and you'll lose it. So just bear in mind when you do that, and obviously if you overtake them doing a handbrake, you'll get the show off buff as well. So, you know, don't factor that in. Don't lose your skill chain just for trying to get, you know, one show off. There's just no point for it. But the reality is that you can do this, and it will take your own kind of approach in order for it to work. So for argument's sake, I'll just finish this lap here and then I'll get ourselves out of it. So Alias Bug, what's the final one?
Hot Wheels.
Okay, so, and here we go, look, I'm right at the back, out of their way, drafting, ultimate pass for 6, ultimate pass for 9, slingshot for 1650, and you see there, look, I'm just going to kind of stop here just so you can see, brakes, yeah, it's a bit of a nightmare, but, you know, just be aware that it's there for future reference, okay? Which finally really leads me on to my final video, one that has caused quite a bit of frustration in general, really. For those of you that follow Don Joe on Song, he recently put up a video regarding a Hot Wheels glitch that he found, and unfortunately it's worked for some but not everyone. I spent 3 hours trying to get this to work, and for love or money it just won't. Now, some have said it's because it's patched, some have said because it's because you created a profile after a certain point that it doesn't work for. The long and short of it is that it's either going to work for you or it isn't. And for those of you that know exactly what I'm talking about, you're either going to watch this video and go, yeah, the exact same thing happens to me and I can't do anything, or you're going to go, no, it doesn't work like that, it's been patched. So I'm telling you now, I've tried this and it doesn't work for me. I've watched the video, I've been with people that have done it. It's it's an amazing boost, it really is, and I really hope that it works for you, because it will significantly improve your XP. But the sad thing is that it doesn't for me, and that's the reality of it. But I will show you just that you can personally see it yourself. There's Demon. Big shout out to you. So what you need to do is obviously bring up the map. And again, all credit to Don Joe on Song for this. He kind of pointed me in this direction. This is the one, Thrill City. You're going to have to progress enough in the story to do it. As you can see, I've milked it. I've done everything I can on this game. And just for reference, for anyone that's been stuck on the All Hail the King achievement on Blizzard Mountain, that glitch there, I have a fix for that. But that I can contact you about personally. Just inbox me on Xbox Live, and I can go that way. But basically, yeah, you want to go to here, Thrill City bucket list blueprint on the community bucket list. Hook a right, there it is. Forza bucket list part 3. It's the car you want. Hook it up, hit view, and you know there's going to be a few here. This is one I did a little while back, take 2 on the Lamborghini Huracan. It didn't work. I then tried it with the BMW M3 Horizon Edition. Didn't work. A load of my colleagues and kind of racing friends have done this, but for argument's sake, and with all due credit to Don, we're going to use his, just so we're kind of fully aware of what he's planning to do. Again, he's done his own video for this. This is my own personal booster methods, really for a link from my club at Platinum Players that they can kind of reference back. But the reality of this is that you have to have the car in manual with clutch, and you have 30 minutes to boost as much as you can within the certain time limit. So, you know, get yourself, follow the blue line, get yourself here. And basically the method here is to allow, while your skill's banking, like now, to add the brake and handbrake, and basically accelerate and let the clutch go at the same time. Now, I'm not going to sit here and show you how to do this. I thoroughly recommend you go and check out Don Joe One Song's video to see how he does it directly. But I'm telling you, I can't get this to work. I mean, in terms of what's happening here at the moment, it's pretty mad. I mean, I'm not really doing anything special, but you can kind of see what the whole point of this is. It's to kind of stay on the landing pad for long enough so that you basically rack up the boost continually. But the fact of the matter is that I can't even stop on this thing now. So I'm just going to try and edge it back slowly. And that clunking noise, that clunk clunk clunk, is basically the noise that initializes the boost. But the sad thing is, I mean, look, that's I'm gonna try it again. So people are getting some absolutely outrageous XP with this, and obviously that is, you know, 66,000 banked, and then, you know, that's now started off at 72 times 6. So I mean, the reality of it is, if you carry on and kind of do it that way, you will bank it. But obviously the thing is that you've got to bank it while the skill chain is banking. So, you know, work it out, you know, feel with it. It may work for you. You know, I'm not getting the figures that some people are actually telling me that they're getting. You know, I'm getting around about, you know, 200,000-300,000 in that time, and it's not quite working for me. But, you know, it may work for you. Any problems, any queries, concerns, post a message. Bug's been an absolute star kind of watching him do this. He's been an absolute legend for me on Hot Wheels. My 7-year-old completed everything for me on the championships and everything like that. He's an absolute trooper and will one day be literally a racing legend online. Hit me up, add me a message if there's any queries or concerns on Xbox Live, Alias space DJA. And if you fancy racing, if you fancy an evening boosting with me and the club, give me a shout. We're great guys, we'll happily help you out. Platinum Plays is the club name. All the best till next time.